Hi, this is Zach from Level CrossFit. I am doing lesson number 23, managing different skill levels in the same class. I'm going to take you over my three athletes, my beginner, intermediate, and my advanced athlete. I'm going to take you through progressions and scaling options that we're going to do through the warm-up and for their workout. And I'm also going to explain the athletes and what kind of stimulus they can expect to get out of this workout, as well as what the workout is. So every 2 minutes, 4 or 5 rounds are to complete this work. There's 2 different scoring on this one. The first scoring is fastest round. The second scoring is the total time over those 5 rounds. A 100-meter sprint, 20 feet on a handstand walk, and then 3 squat cleans, 185 pounds for guys, 125 for ladies. So let's talk about our athletes. Our beginner athlete is named Alex. Alex is an athlete who's been doing CrossFit for maybe 3 weeks now. He's a pretty fit dude. He came from Mabadi down the street, which is a kind of a box globo type gym. So he's familiar with bench pressing, deadlifts, squatting, maybe not front squatting so much, back squatting. So he's a pretty strong guy, somebody you kind of have to reel in because these CrossFit specific movements, the Olympic weightlifting movements, can kind of get to him, and he gets pretty frustrated when it comes to gymnastics movements currently. So that's my beginner athlete. My intermediate athlete is Nicole. Nicole has been doing CrossFit for about 2 years. She is a former gymnast, does gymnastics on silks, so kind of like that acrobat kind of stuff. So great body awareness there. She's quite small. So sometimes the weights get to her and she gets some frustration going on when these weights are a little bit heavier. She only weighs herself probably about 130 pounds. So a smaller person that has been doing CrossFit for about 2 years. My third athlete, Jaleesa. Jaleesa is a pretty advanced athlete. She, I believe, follows Mayhem programming at the moment. She's been doing CrossFit for 8 to 10 years now. She runs seminars in our gym for some gymnastics. She's going to run an Olympic weightlifting seminar as well. So quite versed in the CrossFit world. She's going to be our advanced athlete. So our first movement is that 100-meter sprint. Because it's winter here, I would probably not have people sprint 100 meters outside. I would probably switch that up to a row sprint, which would change the stimulus a little bit because you get that pulling with the shoulders and then that pressing afterwards with the handstand walks. Change it to a 250-meter row as a sprint. So I'd have everyone start on their rower for the warm-up. I'd have everybody do a 1-minute easy row just to get that core temperature up, just to get that get the heart rate pumping a little bit. And then I'd have everyone do about a minute, exactly a minute on the row at a moderate pace. And then once everyone kind of cooled down from that, give them a few seconds, I'd have everybody do a sprint and make sure they reset their monitors to take a look how long 250 meters is going to take them on that rower. If it takes them longer than 1 minute on that 250-meter sprint, I would have the athlete scale down to 200 meters or 150 meters, depending on when that 1 minute was up. I don't want anyone on that rower after the 1 minute mark in this one. After that progression with the rowing, I'd do a handstand walk progression. I'd have everyone, since I just did a lot of pulling with the rower, I'd have everyone do a 30-second plank hold, just to make sure that they're bracing their core, make sure they're screwing their arms into the ground in that plank hold. Then I had everyone do 20 shoulder taps, just to get used to kind of shifting that body weight. And this is where I'd kind of break things up a little bit. I would have Alex perform a partial wall walk and then shift his body weight on that wall walk a few times just to see how it feels to get inverted. I would have Nicole and Jaleesa kick up on the wall and perform 8 to 10 shoulder taps on the wall just to get used to shifting that body weight, getting used to being upside down before they tackle that handstand walk. From there, I would give 2 minutes of practice on the handstand walks. For Nicole and Jaleesa, I could see Jaleesa probably giving Nicole some tips as they practice back and forth. During that time, I would more than likely try to get Alex upside down, kicking up, have him trusting the wall, trusting his locked out arms as he gets inverted. It would be a good opportunity for some teaching points in that and get him used to some body awareness as well. From there, after that 2 minutes of practice, we'd work on that squat clean. The first thing I do for the squat clean is get the med balls out, get everyone doing some med ball cleans. Specifically Alex, getting him to open his hips up since he does have a weightlifting background, but a conventional powerlifting background. I would get him used to opening his hips up, being more dynamic. The other two athletes, it would be great practice for them to do a med ball clean, just focusing on kind of breaking down the squat clean before adding any load. From there, I'd go through a barbell progression. I'd have all athletes grab a barbell. Probably Alex would grab a training bar, where the other two athletes would grab 35-pound barbells. Start with a clean deadlift setup, and then from there, have everyone do on my call, on my cue, some deadlift and shrug, then deadlift high pulls from there. And then from there, I'd have everyone warm up their squat a bit more. I'd call out reps on front squats. I'd teach some of the flaws that I see, especially in Alex. Maybe I might see not much depth, maybe losing tension in the bottom of the squat with Nicole. I'd huge Elisa to really kind of brace, even with the empty barbell. Sometimes the more advanced athletes, they'll get a little bit lazy in their warm-up, making sure to hold them to a high standard even during the warm-up. Then I would give and then I would do some tall cleans. This is good practice. That's where you get on your toes, count for 1, 2, and drive yourself under that barbell. It'd be good practice, especially for Alex as well as Nicole. To drive themselves under a barbell to kind of make sure that they're not just pulling, make sure they're receiving that barbell in a low position and not riding it down. I'd have athletes then build up for a couple minutes. I would work with each athlete, cueing them as they got to their weight. Alex would probably stick with that training bar throughout. I would make sure the athletes, during our progression after they've loaded up, they could do, when fresh, they could do 8 to 10 reps of this weight. And if they can't do that when fresh, I would not have this weight for the warm-up, for the workout, sorry. I would make sure that they scale down to a weight they could do 8 to 10 when fresh, because I don't want them dying out on those squat cleans. Next I would go over how I want people to approach this workout. Alex, I would want him to be consistent through all these rounds. So I'd have Alex probably do that 250 meters in a sprint on the rower, and then I would have him perform 20 shoulder taps, and then work on stringing together 3 squat cleans at a lighter weight. I think that work in itself over 5 rounds would definitely accelerate the heart rate and give him some good practice time on these high-skilled movements. Nicole, I would have her probably try to get a goal in this workout would be 5 feet at a time on these handstand walks. And I'd have her with these squat cleans. Heavy singles are okay for her, I think, today, and have her stay consistent, but if she was able to push the pace by the end of those squat cleans, pick a load there that she could stay aggressive on the barbell and not walk away from the barbell, chalk her hands, check her heart rate, get a drink of water, make sure she stayed aggressive on the barbell. Finally, I would have Jaleesa sprint the first round, go out about 90% or so, and see if she could hang on for the last 4 rounds and see if she could get those handstand walks unbroken under that much fatigue. I think it would be a nice challenge there. And then cycle that barbell at the end, at least for the 4th and 5th round of this workout. So that's how I take each individual athlete through this workout, through the progressions for the warm-up, with these moderate to heavy weightlifting as well as high skill gymnastics. Cool. Thank you.